YouTube channel looks really good. You have a lot of videos on there, a lot of conversations. A lot of people are watching your channel. Learn a second language and be perfect from the beginning. It's impossible. It's like trying to make
Yes,
an omelet without breaking any eggs, doing it
yes,
in a different language, in English, the target language. I,
yes.
I always recommend that to students, like students who love cricket. If you love cricket, then read the
Hello,
cricket.
sir.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. So actually, we are meeting for the first time. So could you introduce yourself?
Of course. My name is Jack, and I'm from the United States of America, but I live in South Korea. I teach at a university here in South Korea. Of
Okay.
course, I teach English as a foreign language to students who are mostly freshmen, first year students. And I teach conversational English, so we do a lot of speaking in the classroom. I've been at the same university for almost 20 years now, a long
Oh,
time. Yeah.
okay. So you have been teaching for 20 years.
I've been teaching 22 years total.
Okay, 23 years.
Yeah.
So do you teach in government school or private school?
When I first started, I was teaching at an elementary school. It was a bilingual school in Thailand.
Okay.
And yeah, I was teaching elementary students. But when I came to Korea, I taught elementary for about a year. And then I got a job at a university, and I've been at the same university now for almost 20 years. And
Okay.
I like teaching
Good.
adults more than teaching kids. That's my preference.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So, okay, so let me tell about myself. As you know,
Sure.
my name is Priyanka. I am from India and I live in Delhi. And also, I'm a teacher. I teach in primary school, but my
Great.
native language. I teach in Hindi medium school. And
Yeah.
I'm a learner. I'm learning English these days. That's why I'm running my YouTube channel. That's
Great.
all.
Okay. So you're a teacher. How long have you been teaching?
Yeah, I have been teaching for 8 years.
8 years. Okay. Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty good. That's a good chunk of time. And how long
Yeah.
have you been studying English?
Actually, I started my learning English, you can say 7 to 8 months ago.
Really? Just 7 or 8 months ago.
Yeah,
Wow. That's incredible.
thank you. And I started my YouTube channel 4 months ago.
4 months ago. Wow. Your YouTube channel looks really good. You have a lot of videos on there, a lot of conversations. A lot of people are watching your channel. It's really
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah.
good for you.
Yeah, actually, you know that English is not my native language. So, yeah, I did my schooling in Hindi medium school. So that's why I want to improve my communication skills. So, whenever I talked any person face to face, so I did lots of mistake. I got stuck and I got I felt hesitation. Then my husband he suggested to me for running your YouTube channel and you can talk a stranger person. So that's why these days I'm running my YouTube channel.
Well,
So
good
have
for
you
you.
visited in India?
I've never been to India. I haven't. I've enjoyed your cuisine for many years. I love Indian food. I think it's amazing, but I've never actually traveled to India. I would like to someday.
Okay. So are you YouTuber?
I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm a podcaster. I have a
Okay,
podcast.
podcasting.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have a podcast called the A to Z English Podcast, and
Okay.
I would really, maybe if you don't mind, you could put a link in the description of the YouTube video. And so
Okay.
students can listen to our podcast. It's an English language learning podcast. I do have a YouTube channel called English Word Master, which
Okay.
is, yeah, I'll send you the link also for the YouTube channel. But as far as me being a YouTuber, I do have a YouTube channel, the A to Z English Podcast YouTube channel, but
Mm,
I don't post videos very often, just once in a while. Yeah,
okay.
so I consider myself more of a podcaster.
Okay. Actually, English is your native language, so I think you have not facing any problem while speaking.
No, I don't have. Well, sometimes I do. Like everybody, sometimes you get lost in your sentence or something. But no, for me, English is my only language. I only speak English, and that's my main mode of communication, of course. But when you were talking about getting stuck or making a mistake, I hope you don't focus on that because that's normal. That's part of the process of learning a second language. A lot of
Yes.
students quit because they make a mistake and they're afraid of making mistakes. And so even my students will not want to speak because they're afraid they might make a mistake. And to I mean to think that you could learn a second language and then speak it perfectly from the beginning is
Yes.
not a rational thought. Like no one can do that. That's impossible. Not even the smartest person in the world cannot learn a second language and be perfect from the beginning. It's impossible. It's like trying to make
Yes.
an omelet without breaking any eggs, You can't do it. It's impossible.
Okay. Thank
So,
you.
yeah, don't don't let your fear of making a mistake get in the way of your learning. You're gonna progress the more you speak. That's really
Okay.
how you're gonna grow. Yeah.
So could you suggest me how should I speak? How should I enhance my speaking? Do you have any tips? So please
Y-
give me.
Yeah, I mean, tip number one, start a YouTube channel. But you already did that.
Okay.
Yeah, so you've got tip number one is already checked off. I would say find things that you enjoy. Like, what are your hobbies? What do you do for fun?
Can you repeat?
What are your hobbies? Like, what do you do for
Okay,
fun?
my hobby. Okay, my hobbies are teaching, cooking, making video. Actually, I have a daughter. She's a 5 years old. So sometimes I make video with her, and I go to outside with her. So and sometimes I reading book. Actually, as well as I am preparing for assistant professor. I have qualified NET exam, and as well as I am PhD holder. So
Oh,
these days,
congratulations. Yeah, that's
thank
awesome.
you.
So if let me just use, for example, cooking, because you said one of your hobbies is cooking.
Yes,
So if you enjoy cooking, one way you could improve your English is to watch like an English language cooking show on television or Netflix. So it's
yes,
still about cooking, but you're listening to it in English. Or find a
yes,
YouTube video where they're using English, but they're cooking. So you're still focused on your hobby, something that you enjoy, but you're doing it
okay,
in a different language, in English, the target language. I
yes.
I always recommend that to students, like students who love cricket. If you love cricket, then read the cricket news in the newspaper,
Yes.
read the English newspaper cricket news. Just
Okay.
something that's like in English, but it's still related to what you like. if you try to if you try to read books and material that you don't like, you won't be able to continue it long term. Everybody will quit because it's too boring. It's not interesting. So
Right.
find things that are
Uh,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, actually, I used to study. I used to read news book, but not longer now. No longer now.
Yeah, the newspaper is terrible because really like it's very difficult to understand the news, and it's also very dry and boring, and it's not very interesting. So maybe some people like it, but for most students I tell them don't read the newspaper, don't watch CNN or BBC. That's not a good way to learn. Watch something that you enjoy, sports, cooking, whatever your hobby
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are your hobbies? What do you do in your leisure time?
Yeah, in my these days in my free time, I don't have much free time, but my hobby is my work and my work is my hobby. So I love to make podcasts. I like editing
Okay.
podcasts. I work on my website. I have a WhatsApp group where I communicate with my listeners and students. And so for me, this is kind of my hobby is making a podcast and creating that. As far as my other hobbies, I play the guitar a little bit, not
Okay, that's
very
good.
often. Yeah, yeah. And I watch Netflix with my wife. I have a daughter. My daughter is 15 years old. She's a teenager,
Okay,
and she lives in
okay,
America. She's a dancer, a ballerina, and so I'm very proud of her. She wants to become a professional ballerina when she
that's good.
finishes high school. Yeah.
Okay, so what does your wife do?
My wife is an English teacher. She's
Okay,
Korean. I live in Korea, but yeah, my wife is an English teacher and I'm an English teacher, so we have a teacher family.
okay, so
Yeah.
both are teachers, so that's
Yeah.
good. But
Yeah.
I have a problem. My husband, he's an engineer and I am a teacher, so
He
but
is.
next,
Well, I think engineer is pretty good too. I mean, that's not an easy job, and he's very logical and mathematically minded, I think, right?
right. And
Yeah.
also he busy his on office work, and so
Yeah.
I have to talk sometimes with my daughter because she can understand. And the day she goes to school, she studies in prep class. So I talked with her, but I don't talk with my husband because he always busy his office work.
He just goes in the office. He's like, "Sorry, I gotta eat quickly and go to work, huh?"
How is going on your podcast?
Yeah, our podcast is growing. We, it was kind of slow in the first. It takes time to build a podcast.
Okay,
In the beginning, it was definitely a lot of work, a lot more work in the beginning because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just learning how to do it. Now we have over more than 400 episodes. We release
okay,
one episode.
400.
Yeah, over 400
Wow,
episodes.
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, we have a lot of episodes. So for your
Right.
listeners out there, listeners of your channel or viewers of your channel, if you're interested in an English language podcast, go to A to Z English podcast, and you can listen to a
Yeah,
new
yeah.
episode every day for more than a year.
Definitely, I will. Definitely, I will, sir. Yeah, subscribe your channel, and I will request my viewers.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I love podcasting, even not just making a podcast, but I like to listen to podcasts. So I listen to a lot of podcasts in my free time. That's another one of my hobbies, listening to
Okay.
podcasts.
So, when did you think that you should start your podcast? Who suggested you?
During coronavirus, when everybody was inside, stuck at home and we couldn't go outside, I called my friends and I said, "Hey, let's start a podcast." And my
Okay.
friend said, "Okay, cool, good idea." And so we started a podcast, and yeah, that was. Now I'm addicted. I've been doing it for since coronavirus for 3 years.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good. So,
Hmm.
how many Indian YouTubers have you talked?
Oh my gosh, I can't count anymore. I don't
Okay.
remember. Maybe 10 people. 10 different
Okay.
YouTubers. Yeah. Every time I do a new interview, maybe one or two people send me a message. So then I do two more interviews, and then two more people send me a message, and then I do two more.
Okay.
I always say yes because if people are nice enough, like you are nice enough to ask me to come on your channel, then I should say yes. So I always say yes to my to YouTubers, because I think what you're doing is really good. It's a really good thing. You're trying to teach English to people and help
Right.
them, and I want to be part of that. And so I always say yes. And
Okay. Actually,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt you. Also,
no,
I
no.
was very enthusiastic for talking to you, and I never ever talk any foreigner. So I want to talk, yeah, and who is a native language speakers because I talked only in Indian person. I have talked lots of foreigner person, but it belong to West. Bangladesh, yeah, Pakistan, other country. But there was not native language. It's a different language. So today I am very glad for talking to you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm honored to be on your channel. It really is an honor. I'm glad that that we got to talk. I love talking to teachers in particular. I talked to a teacher last week, and we had a really good conversation about
Yeah,
education. And today we're having a really interesting conversation about YouTubing, being a YouTuber and being a podcaster. And I really yeah, it's really nice to talk to another teacher. I don't know. I just enjoy talking to teachers. I always get interested in, like, what's your style of teaching? Like, how would you describe yourself as a teacher? Are you like calm teacher? Are you the fun teacher? What's your personality in the classroom?
yeah. Actually, depends on situation. Sometimes I have to come. Sometimes I have to, also I am. You can say multitasking. Yeah, versatile person. I am a versatile person. So my all student like my family members and my all staff, they are very supporting. And but I have some problems because I can't talk in English language in my school because there is a Hindi medium school. It's my native language, so I have to teach them in Hindi language.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's a good. I like what you're basically saying you have to be flexible.
yeah,
In
right.
this situation, sometimes you have to be kind, sometimes you have to be cruel, sometimes
Cool.
you
Yeah,
have to be fun, silly, sometimes you
yeah,
have to be serious, and it just
right.
depends on the situation and what
Right.
is required of the teacher.
Yes,
There's a lot of pressure on teachers these days by parents, by administration, by
right.
principals, and teachers have to do a lot of different things at the same
Yeah,
time.
actually, these days education system has been changed, and basically in primary school, and yeah, government they are focus every area because these days it's very important. We have to go, we have to manage lesson plan. Then I go to next time my school and I will teach all my children. So everything has been changed these days,
Right.
so it's good. And I'm passionate about teaching and I want to teach in a college. That's why I'm preparing for assistant professor and my subject is history. Actually, I have completed my post graduation in two subjects, Hindi and history.
Okay.
And yeah, after that I qualified in NET exam in history subject. So right now I am preparing for assistant professor.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I found teaching adults is a lot more rewarding for me, a lot more fun, because I can kind of joke around with the university students, and we can have
Okay.
fun, and I don't have to manage the classroom like I do with kids. I don't have to say stop, don't hit, sit down. You're always trying to control the children, but with adults it's different. You can just do a lot of things.
Yeah, yeah, college students and primary school students, yeah, kids and youngest students, they both are different. They are different. So yeah, I can actually also you have been teaching for 23 years, so you have a experience better than me. I can understand very well and
Challenges, but
different challenge.
equally challenging. Yes, I
Yes,
agree. Yeah. But I think you'll do great in the university setting. You'll be fine because I think the student it's a good primary school teacher will be a good university teacher, I think. It's just a good teacher is a good teacher. So I think it translates, even from elementary or primary school to middle school, high school, and university. It's just at
yes.
university you don't have to spend so much time trying to control the students because they're adults. It's more
Okay.
like office, we're like office etiquette. That's what I always say to my
Okay.
university students. Yeah.
Actually, I want to ask you, what is your qualification and what did you do for your getting job?
My qualification. So I have an undergraduate degree in communications from an American university, And then I have a master's degree of education from an American university. And my, how I got the job was, well, I just saw it online in advertisement for the job. And so I applied and I went to the interview and they liked me. And so they decided to give me an opportunity, give me a chance. And that was in 2006. And now it's 2023. And so I've been there, well, 18 years, like almost 20 years at the same
Okay,
university. Yeah.
that's good.
Time. Thanks, Priyanka. It was great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye. Bye.